Hello students of class 8th. Today's presentation is the science revision for the part 1 of chapter 1 crop production and management, whatever we have discussed in the online session of your class. So let's start. Let's start with the short introduction. Okay, students, you have learned that all living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves. Now, animals, including humans, they cannot prepare their own food. So, where do animals get their food from? But first of all, why do we have to eat food? You have already studied in your previous classes that energy from the food is utilized by the organisms for carrying out various body functions or life processes such as digestion, respiration and excretion. We get our food from plants or animals. Now, in order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management and distribution is very much necessary. Okay students, what is agriculture? So, the mass production of plants and animals for producing food and other useful products is called agriculture. Next is crop. When plants of the same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. For example, crop of wheat means that all the plants grown in a field are that of wheat. Students, you already know that crops are of different types like cereals, vegetables and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. India is a vast country. The climatic conditions like temperature, humidity and rainfall vary from one region to another. Accordingly, there is a rich variety of crops grown in different parts of the country. Despite this diversity, two broad cropping patterns can be identified. And what are these patterns? The Rabi crops and the Kharif crops. Okay, so what are Rabi crops? The crops grown in the winter season, or we can say during the period of October to March, are called Rabi crops. Examples of Rabi crops are, you can see on your screen also, wheat, gram, pea, mustard and linseed. All these are Rabi crops. Then next we have Kharif crops. The crops which are sown in the rainy season are called Kharif crops. The rainy season in India is generally from June to September. Paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton are Kharif crops. Besides these, pulses and vegetables are grown during summer at many places of our country. Okay, next is basic practices of crop production. Cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by farmers over a period of time. You may find that these activities are similar to those carried out by a gardener or even by you when you grow ornamental plants at your home. These activities or tasks are referred to as agricultural practices, which are listed below as preparation of soil. Next is sowing. Third is adding manure and fertilizers. Then irrigation. Then protecting crops from weeds. Then harvesting. And last is storage. So we are going to discuss them one by one. First is preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it. This allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil. The loose soil allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil. Why does loosening of soil allow the roots to breathe easily? What is the reason? So the loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. Now these organisms are friends of the farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it, which you have already learned in your previous class, that is in 7th standard. But why the soil needs to be turned and loosened? You have learnt in the previous classes that soil contains minerals, water, air and some living organisms. In addition, dead plants and animals get decomposed by soil organisms. In this way, various nutrients in the dead organisms are released back into the soil. These nutrients are again absorbed by the plants. Since only a few centimeters of the top layer of soil supports plant growth, turning and loosening of soil brings the nutrient-rich soil to the top so that plants can use the nutrients. Thus, turning and loosening of soil is very important for cultivation of crops. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or plowing. This is done by using a plow. Plows are made of wood or iron. If the soil is very dry, it may need watering before plowing. The plowed field may have big clumps or soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs. Leveling the field is beneficial for sowing as well as for irrigation. Leveling of soil is done with the help of a leveler. Sometimes manure is added to the soil before tilling. Thank you, students. I hope you have revised whatever we have discussed in our online session, or if you have missed something in that session, you may go through this video and I hope this will be helpful for you. Thank you so much.